Alright, back in Italy, and we're going to get fired up here. We've got 14 passengers on board. We're heading to Austria, I believe. And, yeah, plane's all fixed. We've got clear skies, well, clear-ish skies. We're going to be heading back to the mountains. Although I think they kind of... I don't know, maybe they just stay through Austria. I guess that would make sense. But probably right about the same length of flight. We've got to get everything set up here. We're not going full fuel because we barely used any fuel on that last one, although we might be having some headwind this time. Get these all up and running. And then get our direct in here. What we got in here? Yes, control speed we know goes away at 70. We found that out. I did figure out how to get the default zoom set, so now I don't have to zoom in every time, so that'll help. We've got... Let's turn on pitot. No, pitot wasn't up there. Where is it? Maybe it is up there. We won't worry about it. There it is. Turn those on. All pointless. Okay. I think... Is that off or is that on? Because... Alright, no, those are on. Okay, so... we got this all up and running now. Let's go ahead and get in our nice and easy bit, LOAG. Okay. Yep, that is correct. Activate. That is going to put us 183 out, so should be around the same flight time, plus we're going to have distance to actually get up in the air. Let's go to 12,000. It looks like it's going to be fairly clear that direction for now. And yeah, I think we're all good. Just hope that we don't completely bust up the landing. So yeah, we had to move us down here just off the runway. Yeah, that is very weird how the plane, like, there should be no reason why the plane yaws in one direction, or not, like rolls in one direction when I do this. There's not enough, like, power at this speed Something's off with that. Alright, so, let's get it up in the air and head to Austria. Oh, I didn't do flaps, but that's fine. We'll just use up some runway.
Pilot, have a nice flight.
Oh, we are much lighter this time. It is just climbing like crazy. Why are you not working now? You know, I would like it if things just worked like they do every time. 'Cause I don't know why that's not working now. What did I do different? There we go. Alright. Let's climb out here. Let's get it on. Go heading for now. There is autopilot controls here, but I just hate the weird old controls like that. So we're 2,600. Let's get some more power back into it. Speed is starting to trail off there. Let's go nav mode now. Should pull us over onto it. Going to catch it? No, it's not. Alright. Get onto the course ourselves and then turn nav mode on because it has a hard time catching it when you're too far off. (4,200 feet). Yeah, sadly there was no missions going down south into Italy, so I think once you start heading south, the runways get sparser, and so there was just less missions in my range. So 5,000 feet. Climb is getting fairly slow, or the airspeed's getting a little slow, so let's pick up some speed. Climb at 1,000. We got a ways till the mountains. Nav mode's grabbed. It's going to overcompensate and turn onto the line rather than just wait till you get to the line and then turn onto it. Alrighty. 6,700. Let's go to our terrain mode. And it actually doesn't look too terrible in this direction. We may not need to go all the way to 12, but we are at 7 right now, and things are still looking a bit in the way. Currently, hour and 20 minutes out. That's going to pick up speed, though, once we are going a little quicker than 126 ground speed. So we just need to get up to our altitude, and then we will get rolling. feet. Yeah, so we'll be going over quite a bit of mountains, and then it'll get into an area, but we're going to be landing on a 3,000-foot runway. It looks to be kind of in the mountains, in a valley, at around 1,000 foot. But it may not be. It's hard to tell what's actually going on with this map. Alright, 9,000 feet. Flat Italy slowly fading away. Into massive mountains once again. And yeah, we're starting to lose that climb power, so slow it down just a little bit more. Looks like we're all good, but we'll get up here. Ground speed's 140 now. I think we were safe at 10,000 on the last flight, so should be okay at this, but we'll just go ahead and climb it all the way out. $11,000. Got our 1,000-foot till buzzer. We're to the mountains now, so now we'll see just how much mountains this direction. We got a valley coming up pretty quick. That is going to be on the north side of the border of Italy and Austria. So where is... Alright, we're not going to go near Red Bull Ring, sadly. We're going to the northern part of Austria. We've got leveled out here now. We're at 12,000. Kind of getting kicked around. Ground speed's 162. Let's go ahead and get our airspeed up to 160 if we can. Just get a bit of speed out of this. Although it feels like we got a bit of a crossing tailwind, so. Alright. Looks like ground speed's gonna be topping out at 180 or so. So, still in Italy at the moment. Although, this is Italy. Over there is possibly something else, which would be Slovenia, just on the border there. So like that, what we're seeing is luckily the clouds are being nice and are pretty high. Although it does look like we're getting into some stuff up here. I don't know if we've got any air temp indicators. The prop flash is really annoying there. Is this our... No, that's flaps. So, yeah, this little valley that you can see up ahead is... Wait, no, this is not the valley. There's two valleys. You got this one, and then the next one, the larger one, is into Austria. Currently, our fuel flow is 300 pounds per hour, 320 pounds per hour. We've got 400 almost pounds of fuel, although right side's a little lower. Can just save ourselves a bit of fuel by slowly pulling this back. We're not going to lose too much speed. Ground speed 175, now down to 173, so we're going to use a little less fuel. It's better. Clouds are lowering. So let's just... Actually, you know what? Let's hold off on heating the window until we see icing, because then we'll know that we're in an icing situation. Throw everything else on, because I'm guessing we are below freezing right now. So yeah, 50 minutes out at the moment. We are now crossing the border, and here is that larger valley. Smaller one, and then the range here appears to be the border. But yeah, a little less crazy mountains at the moment. But those may kick off again as we get into some thicker ranges, because right now these have got a lot of valleys going through them. But that whole area back there that we came in over quite a bit. Ground speed 171, and our fuel flow is down under 300 now, so now we're getting into the clouds. Watch for the icing, but I think we might be okay. Especially since there's not a lot. These aren't too thick. So we got a little lake down there. There is an airport there. Then there's another one down there somewhere. those would be very interesting to fly into, because you got to kind of, you can't just aim for the airport like we did on the last one. You kind of need to aim for the valley far enough away to then get down in the valley and slow down. But pretty neat. Alright, a little bit thicker stuff here, but we're kind of going to be going right through the tops of this. "45 minutes out. That's 130 miles. Yeah, very lucky on this altitude here. Just skirting through the layers of clouds. Oh, you know what? That wasn't a runway that I saw. Looks like a bunch of these out here are just helipads. So, I mean, it makes sense. A lot of clouds back that way. This little valley in here. Elevation down there in that valley is 3,300. Alright, so now we've got a highway coming through here. I mean, I don't know how much of a highway it is, but it looks like a highway. And it's going to start going off that direction in this valley. And we just got a lot of mountains. A lot of mountains and not a whole lot going on until we get right around Murrah, I think. And that's just a very small town up in the mountains. Happening here. I don't know what that is. strange lines in the ground. Like this looks normal, but those look off. It's like the river is going uphill or something. Alright, ground speed 174 now, so we are picking up a little bit more tailwind. Fuel flow right at 300. Oh no, still just under 300, sorry. Very, very dark off to that direction. Look and see. But the weather info I'm going to have is going to be way out of date. Or out of... yeah. There was a storm, or there is a storm crossing here, so I think we're just getting bits and pieces of it. May catch a little bit of snow. So we can pull up the flight planner and maybe look back. Pull that up real quick. Not really showing too much on here. Maybe it's building right at this time, but because I think we're at like 10 a.m. and I don't think that's going off my local time, so it's only showing a bit here. We are going to be kind of crossing there, but I think we'll be okay. Nothing to worry about. Let's double check our terrain. Looks like we're all good. GPS says we're at 11,580. It's probably just because we're on standard right now because we had no weather information to go off of. May actually be fun to fly back up towards all the Nordic countries. Definitely going to get some interesting areas up that way as well. But we'll just go with the flow wherever the game sends us. Crisscrossing over here and hauling these 14 passengers. hopefully the landing is much smoother here as well. We are almost to halfway here on this. We've got that little town I was talking about. Maybe down in that valley. Maybe right there. Should be able to see it. We sit up in our chair. Just down in there. Between two rivers. Just a bunch of rivers coming off of other little valleys into this valley. So this drains into there, and it does it again down there. Wow. Alright, we got some... Okay, that has got some moisture in it. Thankfully, we're going to miss that. Ground speed picking up again, 176. Now 33 minutes out. Does look like we got some clouds kind of walling up ahead of us. Fuel, we're down to 25. So still good there because at the moment we're burning over that. But we're a half hour out, so got a little, actually, a bit of, if you can call it, flatland out here. Something to work with. Yeah, kind of worried about all of this coming up. Into the passenger seat. Alright, so our de-ice is all up here. No idea what this is. But I'm guessing it's for icing. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Let's see what this says. Airspeeds. "105 is our limit for flaps out, 95 for everything else. Recommended full flaps, it looks like, for landing. It says 10,000 feet in between 170 and 160 knots, so we're right around that. Just below. Can't really go much faster. Alright, so we gotten past the storm. Got another little bit here, and I'm kind of starting to get worried that it's just always centered over an airport. Because that storm almost looked like it was directly over an airport, and this looks like it's almost directly over an airport. So rather than having weather that crosses the world, it centers weather over airports, because that's the one thing about this game. The weather system is absolutely terrible for how it generates weather in the world, because it just stations it on top of airports based on the weather at that airport, and then puts it in like a 20-mile circle. I don't think we have any weather capabilities on here. So, we'll just be going into this, but in about 20 miles we'll be out of it. We could go around it, but we'll just go through it. Just for safety, we won't do the windows, but let's do the engines for now. If I start seeing icing on the window, then we'll throw everything else on. Definitely some turbulence in here. Not seeing. Is it icing up? It's hard to tell with the reflections. What wings look like. Well, looks like we're okay. Can't see the wings, but the engines, I'm not seeing anything. Window doesn't really look like it's icing up. I mean, it kind of looks like it's got a drizzle of ice, but I think that's just the reflections, and we're out of it. Cool. Worry over nothing. Alright, so at the moment we are 26 minutes out. Ground speed's dropped 170, so we've kind of got slowed down through probably just kind of where the front is on this. You see that we got a pretty massive crosswind, because this is the angle that we're looking, and this is the angle that we're going, so wind's turning us a bit. Fairly high mountain there. Just poking through these clouds. We're still well above. Change this for our minimums, I believe. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do for. I need to pull up this airport on the flight planner and see if we got any information on it. Zero info. Not even showing what direction the runway is. That's good. All right. Yeah, so it looks like we got a 29 and an 11. I think we're gonna be okay though. It doesn't look like there's any mountains really right around it. Kind of got a big open valley, so we should have a pretty easy landing. Guessing based on which way our tail's getting shoved, we'll be landing this way to 9. And look, we can see outside again. Alright, 22 minutes out. Currently flying over a national park. And then the name of the town that we're about to go over is Mooslandil. Mooslandl. That is going to be just off to this side. Very, very small. But not a whole lot of snow over here. And I'm kind of also feeling like we could probably bring the altitude down. I think we're just kind of in some lower foothills now. so let's go ahead and drop down to 10,000. Just because the ceiling looks like it might lower a bit up ahead. And let's drop 500 feet a minute. Get there in 4 minutes. Use some of our altitude to gain some speed as well. But yeah, we caught a nice little break in the weather here, because that and that. And again, what worries me is there's an airport somewhere over there, and there's an airport somewhere over there. Could just be random, because there is an airport as well just ahead of us. We're going to be getting into a whole lot more civilization as well, since we're getting out of the mountains. Oh, all right, so this storm is definitely not over an airport, so that's good to know. That one probably isn't either. I think the airport is actually further back that way. So just some storms hitting mountains. Ground speed now 178. I think the clouds have lowered again somehow. Let's go ahead and just take it down to 8,000. At this rate. Looks like we should be good at that altitude. I don't see why we wouldn't have, like, I don't think we're gonna get a random mountain range that pops up to 8,000 from here. So turn all that off. All right, so fuel flow 300. We've got 200 in the tanks. Now showing 16 minutes out at this rate. So yeah, it's going to open up into this valley. There's going to be a tiny formation of hills. And then will be our airport. So now we just got to hope for visibility. It's pretty high peak for everything surrounding it, but I also haven't been really able to see what all has been around, but that looks more prominent than everything else around it. Alright, so we got a town up here. I believe that is... this is St. Polten. And that town just kind of extends all the way up the river, all the way up to where we're going, which is Machira? Maybe? I don't know. Krems is the word that keeps popping up. And then the Dano River. We're going a little bit past that, but it's clearing up a little bit. We got some blue sky, and some of the sun is reaching the ground. And then we got this little band of crap that we're gonna have to go through. I think we can go ahead and extend this down to 6,000. And we're 13.5 out. Airspeed is getting a little high, so gotta keep that down. Don't need to make repairs on the plane again. Cost us enough money already. Honestly, it should have been way more expensive than what it was, so very lucky. And it does look like we're going to just sneak under all these clouds. I thought for sure we were going to have to go through these, but it's working out well. I might have actually been wrong about what this is. I think this bends back up around the little hills that are before our town, so check around here. 13, 900, 600, and then we're landing at 1,000. So just wanted to make sure nothing in this area was higher than I thought it was. Is it Donu? I think Donu sounds better. Like, but that might be a different river somewhere else. D-O-N-A-U. And that could just be the English way of saying it, since we just kind of break it and make it work for us, since we don't have all the little bits of the language that other countries do. Alright, just crossing through the bottom of these. Still able to see the ground. Sort of. The reflections are getting a bit crazy, but... Alright, we're 1,000 feet off. Under 10 minutes. Weisselberg. Off over here, it says. And you know what? Just continue on down to 4,000. Alright, so the river heads up and then turns back across in front of us. It looks like this is fairly flat. This was the part I was worried about. Didn't know how high the elevation was going to be for that. We're at 6,000 feet right now. I think we just get it down to 3,000. Should bring us in 2,000 feet over it all, but I just want to get a better eye on. Yeah, this looks like it might actually have a little bit of elevation right to it. May not be a whole lot though. This is Milk, M-E-L-K. Sure, you're supposed to hit that E a little harder. So yeah, it looks like the river goes up and bends around. Doesn't actually turn here. So I think we're looking at off over here, possibly. Just have our terrain out here. Oh, we did get a little bit of icing. But we're through it. We're not going to have to... Well, not fully through it. Let's go ahead and just... Alright, so we don't have to worry about terrain. River heads off into the little valley there, then comes back around, which is going to put us on the backside, and we're probably up, because it looks like it stays in the valley. The town Krems is like in the valley, and then our airport is up on top of the hill, possibly. we will go down to 3,000. I think 3,000 is still safe here. Behind us it's not, but in front of us, we're not even getting the 1,000-foot warning yet. To our left, a little bit. Oh wow, we are getting beat up down here now. Alright, starting to get more warnings off to our left. That's going to be about 3,000 feet. Yeah, let's hold 3,800. Once we figure out what our situation is, I believe the river's right there with the town right along it. So then on this back side is us. I just want to get over this and then we'll descend a little bit over it all. Put some throttle back in it as we've leveled off. Start descending again, get down to 3,000. We're also going to go to nav, or tick nav off and go to heading mode. Get lined up here. Still 1,000 feet over it. Alright, so there is going to be a road that is coming out of the town that goes up the hill. And the airport is like over there. Castle. It is, but It's got a whole lot of flattened off bits. Yeah, it's a castle. Obviously, AI generated filling it in, but that is a castle. Have to go figure out what that one is. Alrighty, so we are going to land to 2.9, I believe it was. I want to get down to the bend in the river here. Let's go ahead. North. Autopilot off. Cut the throttle here. And let's get this figured out. Where are you, airport? It's got to be up on the hill. Flaps out. Gotta trim this thing out a bit. I'm sitting here pulling back massively. Okay. Let's find this airport. Not a big airport, so it's going to be a little challenge to find. I think I have it in sight. Possibly that. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, 2,200, we're 1,200 off the ground probably, and 1,500 it says on our tracker, whatever that instrument is called. No, I was wrong, but I do see it now. And it looks like they were nice and maybe put a bunch of trees at the end of the runway for me. There's the runway. Terraced hills. Alright, we're lined up. About 600 feet off the ground. Saying 1,000, but as the hill comes up, it will quickly change, so just try to hold right about here. More throttle. Don't get behind on that throttle. Don't need that same crap happening. All of a sudden picked up a bunch of speed there too. And this thing is tricky to just bring it in. Alright. Full flaps. Full flaps, 80 knots. Trees are not at the end of the runway, so that's good. There's our 500 call.
Minimums.
That's our 300. Talking about perfectly fine, other than the crosswind. Jesus. Yeah, I don't think this is paved. Says it's paved, but we got gravel texture. Did we end up at another glider airport? Apparently we did. Well, if this is a glider airport, why is this all stupid with the rocky runway? I'm in reverse. I wasn't sure if I had got that, and then the crosswind was really throwing me off there. Well, that was surprising runway, but it was supposed to be paved. It acted like it was paved. Apparently the wind is doing a bunch of weird things here. Did we have a tailwind there? I mean, didn't matter, but had a bunch of cross in it too. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this runway, but very strange. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be paved, because this is paved. I think it's just put some rocky textures on it. Yeah, this leaning from the crosswind. Very dangerous. We're definitely oversized here. I'm not going to park there. Go down here and just park into the wind, because I don't think it really matters what we do here. We're going to kind of own the airport for a moment. You know what? We got down. The landing was at 175, so still some work to do on that.
Transporter. Disembarkation in progress. Stand by.
Let's hop out while it shuts down. Here we are in Austria at Krems, little glider place. Guess let's... Oh wait, no, drone. Does that pause everything? Yeah, look at the amount of flaps you can put on this thing. That is ridiculous. Maybe that's my issue. Maybe I don't need that much flap.
Everyone is on the bus. Check that they haven't forgotten anything. Have a nice day.
So, once again, get sent to one of these custom airports. And, well, they custom made it and then put weird gravel texture on the runway, but kind of a neat area. And yeah, we landed sort of safely, so that's a positive. We're up to $158,000. That was $94,000 we made, so made back all the money that I lost from the bad landing. And yeah, I don't know where we'll head next, but we'll keep on going with this plane because I'm enjoying it. Thanks for watching.